Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing great. I'm having a good one, actually. Kind of not doing anything today. Just took my wild kitties out some salmon, canned salmon this morning, and Nellie ate all she could and just covered it up with pine needles. And I just looked out and she uncovered it, and her babies are eating again. So I think that's just what she needs to heal her wounds. So, yeah. Anyway, kitty food and milk and water, that's all good, but just pure protein is, you know, pretty good for her. I didn't feel like turning on any lights, so not because I'm scared of my wrinkles, because I earned them. you know, I guess I'm gonna die with them whether I like it or not. Anyway, so well, I just was thinking about all these people that are, um, oh, you, almost before they say anything, you know that something untrue is going to come out of their mouth. So it's like, even like the half lies, half truths, you just sense them. It's an instinct, you know. It's just like when Satan tries to tell you something, it's an instinct, it's a feeling, you know. It's like, and you know better right away. Ooh, that's something I was going to touch on. Oh, for real. Give me a moment here. I'm not going to worry about how I word this. I'm just going to wing it. When I was a little kid, I did some rotten shit. I stole stuff. I lied so I wouldn't get smacked, stuff like that. But there's other things that I did when I was adult that might have been deemed as terrible in the eyes of somebody. And I was walking with my Father in heaven, and I go where the Lord directs me. So um, I never take what Satan did on as my own, because his fault is not mine, and Christ died for people's sins. You don't relive that. You don't take on Christ's burdens, although um, you don't share in the burden of murder. That's reworded, and that's not appropriate. And back to even Adam and Eve, they don't take that on themselves. Christ died for them. Christ is Christ. He was then, he is now, you know. So if the Lord's led you in some awful funny directions and you had him in your heart, and you didn't understand why crazy things were happening, or you'd even be put in a position to do something that you normally wouldn't even do, then you know who you are. And that's a righteous thing. And don't worry, don't give it another thought. Go stay on the path you're on, do what God tells you to do, mind his commandments. And yeah, if you steal something, you gotta pay for it. If you do something terrible, you gotta pay for it. There's no doubt, absolutely no doubt. But there's a far cry from doing something stupid when you're young, when you really don't know any better, and Satan can guide you. And I don't call that a tear. I heard somebody say, well, like, you let Satan tear you. No, Satan attacked me, and I tore, and I repaired myself, and now I'm an adult. If I were an adult in a baby's body, Satan couldn't have gotten to my spirit. That's why we're supposed to have protectors in this world to keep children from going astray. You know, that's not always the case. In fact, most of the time in this world, that's not even heard of in a all and out manner. I mean, like from every angle that you could possibly teach a child to walk with God is what's expected, you know. No matter the child in your life, if you're working in childcare, you're responsible for, well, actually, all of us are responsible for every spirit of Christ that a person carries on this planet, to nurture that. Now, if they're dealing more with the spirit from um, the satanic force, and it causes you injury, and it causes you um, setbacks or injuries or emotional disturbances. That's a natural thing, but I'm kind of strong like that because people think they're like getting to me, and I love them. I love them, but I'll laugh right in their face when they're like playing with me like that because I know better. And that's not being insensitive when you're dealing with somebody that's acting on a narcissistic nature, you know, like so self serving. The only part of not self serving that they ever had in their life was you, you know, and then they can emulate that a little bit. Yeah. Well, they're going to learn how to serve God's children by our example, you know. So they brought on what they're going to get. And I don't feel sorry for them. It's nothing to feel sorry about. In fact, they're going to be in a better position with their soul when God cleans them up than they are right now. So, but dealing with people like that, that's another thing. And if you've done it for a very, very long time, it really, it doesn't get any easier. You learn different techniques, but they step it up. And it doesn't matter how ludicrous it seems or what they say or do. Whatever they do, it's like a self-preservation thing, and they don't see that they're literally tearing their hole in their own soul, you know. No, I was put on this planet by God to face these things. I didn't fall. Even when I was young and did stupid things, I wasn't falling. I literally, actually, kind of, well, I can't say I knew better, but it didn't take me long to learn better after that, you know. And I'm talking as a child, you know. I'm not talking, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50-year old people like that. No, I'm talking children know better, you know. And then if you carry on your misdeeds into your adulthood, then you are Satan's. Of course, he's going to try and attack the young, you know. They belong to God right from the beginning, you know. So it's up to you whether there's actually a tear in your soul or not. You know, if you've always had Christ's blood in you and you know you couldn't hurt people like they hurt you, then that's who you are. You know that. That's that's it. And if anybody tries to tell you different, see, this is what I'm dealing with in my life. People that if I expose myself to the world, then they think, oh, she's opening up her flaws. No, everybody's flawed to a certain extent. True. I'm not sit there and admit it for 63 years and have it pounded in my head how bad of a person I had been, or I'm a murderer that nailed Christ to the cross. Give me a break. And that's where I'll go for Christ's sake. You know, that's some irrational thinking. When a person's good for decades and walks with God daily, you know, they don't need to hear any reprimands from anybody. That's what I'm saying. Now, if I go out tomorrow and I kill somebody, they'll say, wow, she really fooled us. But that doesn't seem to be my personality, you know. Never has been, and it never will be. So, we got almost a 90-degree day here, but yeah, well, it's not. But I am going to be going out in a little bit. I just wanted to get that off my mind, um, you know, because my mind's always been with my father since the day I was born, you know. Even through my stupid things, I heard him. So, um, and I'm never gonna um, take what Satan did to me as my flaw because I was a child and it wasn't my flaw. You know, it was the conditioning and being too young to help myself, and it wasn't lack of God or lack of Christ. It was being helpless, you know. When I went to the state and said I'm being abused and I need to become an adult and get the hell out of here, or I'm just going to keep running away, they heard me finally after 17 years. But I was a very nice little girl in extreme survival circumstances. And I was meaner in my life than I wanted to be, but that was only directed to the people that needed that. And that's who I am. I just want to get that straight. There's all kinds of personalities in this world, but I'm a little bit different than a lot of people. And everybody knows that, obviously. So, and I love everybody. You just have no idea. I feel you in my blood. Everybody. It's like a rush of information in there whenever I want to tap in. That's how I do it. So it's not just with my third eye or telepathy or uh, the earth or the ether, or it's everything, you know. There's different ways and different times, and God puts me in a spot or situation with information ahead of time, or even after the fact. He'll say, that's why I had you say that. And I was thinking maybe I could have said it different. And he's like, I'm cool with that. So I know what's up with myself. And I hope something I said kind of was touch somebody, that bring you to a little closer understanding that I was made to battle demons. I'm not just a minister. I'm an administer. So, um, just add that little bit of information of full on love. It's not a forceful thing. It's called self defense. So, peace, everybody. Have a nice day. Thank you for joining me.